I'm skeptical. I'm cynical, and for good reason. I don't trust these people. The money printers, the Federal Reserve, the Labor Department. I pointed out repeatedly how the Labor Department's involved in this scam. And I hate to think there's others out there, but I wonder about the Chamber of Commerce. I really do. I mean, who are these people? Are they honest? Or are they just looking after their own self-interest and worried about which side their bread is buttered on? They're not working for we the people. These people haven't worked for the interest of we the people. I'm talking about the whole shebang of these people I'm mentioning here. These are who the people running the world, okay? And they're not honest people. A lot of them are just sycophants, okay? They just suck up to who's buttering their bread, okay? And they say, yeah, I'll turn my back on masses. I don't care. They're the ones that are paying me. They're my masters. They're my employers. I care about who's printing my paycheck. That's all I really care about. I got to worry about me and my family. Okay, I mean, if it means that we got to sacrifice 90+% of the population, so be it. I just want to keep what I have. I don't want to rock the boat so much that I lose my job, I lose my paycheck, I lose my money. That's more important to me than 90+% of the population. So these are the kind of monsters we're up against. We got to understand that, wrap our minds around that. And God can give you the wherewithal to stand before these people courageously and say, we're done. We know what you did. We know what you're doing, and we're over it. Okay? Feudalism has had a long, long run on planet Earth. The top money lovers, this murderous gaggle of thieving, cheating thugs, has been running the show, and by extension, running our lives for a long, long time. And I, for one, am sick and tired of it. And I want you, my friend, whoever I'm speaking to be sick and tired of it. And to say, we're not taking it anymore. We know what you're doing. Into this conversation of overpopulation. We're not going to talk about solutions, are we? Right? We're not going to talk about disruptive technology. And what exactly is it disruptive to? The profits of the oil companies, perhaps? Okay? With a hydrogen on demand unit that you could put under the hood of your car with an easy conversion. And instead of putting gas in your car, you put water, and you get about 100 miles to a gallon of water. Can you imagine a bank of 12-volt batteries that can crack the water molecule and create hydrogen? And it's safe because you don't even have to fill your gas tank with hydrogen. That's like driving around with a bomb. But it's only making it as you need it. You press the accelerator, it creates more. It could have been perfected. Stan Meyer, look up that name, in the water car. That's one example of many solutions to all of our problems. What's bugging you? Be specific about the overpopulation. Don't just throw out some nebulous, well, look around you. I mean, don't be stupid. Just, it's, there's, the freeways are congested. Not anymore. That goes to show how many people can actually stay at home. A basic universal income, all those people say, screw it. I'm okay. I can still go buy what I need, and I can afford a few luxury items, go out for entertainment. I could save a little bit. Money to burn, money to save, having all my needs met, I'm fine. And they can stay home. End of commuter traffic. Parking. Have you been downtown lately? It's a ghost town. Any of your downtowns, any of your communities. Okay, but we need to, just figure out there's solutions to all of our problems. But these people are evil, and they don't want solutions. They want us dead, basically. So, I mean, what's stopping them? For 20 years, I think, they've been spraying the skies. Okay, it's weather modification. It's geoengineering, chemtrailing. You can see the planes outfitted for it. Look at Google Images, chemtrailing images. Okay, you'll see it's all just matter of fact now. But they won't, not a whisper on the mass media, the mainstream media that's being funded by you know who, the same people I'm talking about. Okay, so it's not even important enough, I guess. I mean, isn't that the only rationale they could give that we would buy? Otherwise, it's certainly a story of interest. Let us know what you're doing up there in the sky. And if you're screwing with the weather, I mean, do you have insurance? Are you bonded? Can we sue if you screw things up? That you didn't let Mother Nature straighten things out when you felt like they were going askew and you had to interject. You had to hijack Mother Nature, usurp Mother Nature and God, and go out there and spray the skies. So now they could convert these things to biological warfare machines, right? So take your cod liver oil. It's cheap. Listen, I haven't taken it for days, maybe a week or more. It stores up in your liver. You don't want to take too much of it. Get your doctor's permission to take a handful of the capsules, whatever. It's easy. Okay, maybe 5, 10 of the things. It's like putting Marvel Mystery Oil in your gas. Look at it like that. It lubricates stuff, and it helps it. Your lungs like it. It goes in your bloodstream. It goes in and everywhere. You remember, everything we ingest in our body, then it comes out, right? So it's like your intestines are a two-way street. Your skin is the same thing. They absorb stuff, but they release stuff. Your skin is the biggest eliminatory organ you have. So I'm just saying, I've been taking oil of oregano capsules too, and I've also been taking some zinc for other reasons, but then I remember this is one of the ones they recommend. I mean, this is all cheap stuff too. The oil of oregano I've been getting at my local grocery store. It's a lot cheaper than online. I like less than $5 for a bottle of stuff. I took a bunch of those. I mean, remember, I'm not giving it medical advice, nutrition advice even. You could talk to your doctor. But okay, I had pneumonia when I was a child, 10 years old, living in Ireland, and I was in a coma. Okay, and I was admitted to the hospital. I had in my left lung. Okay, it was very serious. And my dad, he had me start taking cod liver oil, and I believe he put me on vitamin B complex, and that's another thing I've been taking too. That's not going to hurt you. I don't think your doctor would ever tell you not to take B complex. Okay, but I mean, get advice from a medical professional. Just make sure it's okay, and if you've got a good doctor, I'm almost 100% sure he'll tell you, yes, it's all fine. Follow the instructions, take it. But, you can think for yourself. Do your own research. Get smart quick. Life's short, So I'm just saying, I do not have a perfect diet. So when I preach to others, I'm preaching to myself too. Okay, but you can do a few proactive things to stay healthy, and that's what you can do because we're all sitting ducks here. I mean, we're going to get it. Think about it. I mean, the money, it's on the coins, it's on the cash. When somebody can invent the cash machine that can disinfect the money as it goes through the machine, there's an idea. There's a $10 billion idea right there, right? Is create cash machines, all these self-service in the markets and stuff, make them disinfect the coins and the cash. It'd be one-stop shopping right there. But they need to do more. I mean, we're bringing it home. We're touching the carts at the grocery stores. You're touching your steering wheel. You're touching stuff, okay? People in grocery stores, we know if you've shopped, you cannot stay 6 feet away all the time. The aisles aren't wide enough. People are passing by. The most you can get is 2-3 feet if you're lucky, okay? Just yesterday, I was at the grocery store, and I saw one guy run over to a couple, and he gave the woman a big hug before she gave him permission. I mean, right now, with what's in the news, that's almost like assault at this point, right? And the other guy, he just reached out and shook his hand, and the guy shook his hand. I just last night at the grocery store. So, look, we're going to get it. We're all going to get it. Governor Newsom was being honest, and that's what Trump ought to do. Say, look, you just plan on getting the damn thing. Okay, that's it. And, get over it. Get over it. I'm not saying not to take precautions. I hate being sick. I'm not a masochist, okay? I do not like pain. I do not like sickness. I do not like trauma. I do not like trauma for myself, and I do not like trauma for others. I do not like trauma even for my enemies. That's why I say I'm my enemy's best friend. What do I want for these evildoers I speak of so poignantly? And I warn the people, and we, to try to empower people, we got to confront them. We got to learn what's going on, how they're scamming us, how they're duping us. It comes down to theft. What do you think feudalism is? Oppression. What do you think it is? What do you think enslavement is? Slavery. It's all about money. It's all about theft. It's all about, it's very evil, okay? It's satanic in that nature. Okay, that's why the love of money is said to be the root of all evil, not some. They're manipulating the crap out of it. They're stealing our wealth, and this is how they're doing it, okay? They dilute the money. It's called currency debasement. Do you think how often do you hear the mainstream media try to educate the people about rudimentary, fundamental, basic economic principles? We bandy these terms about all the time, like, oh, it's capitalism, and capitalism is American as apple pie, and if you're not a good capitalist, you're not a good American. You should get the hell out of America. Right? But we don't explain. We don't try to. Nobody's tried to educate people and define what exactly is capitalism. What are the hallmarks of capitalism to really indicate this is true capitalism and this is pseudo capitalism, going under the guise of capitalism. Okay, so I try to educate people. What is progress relative to capitalism? How does it affect us on a socio-economic basis? How do you define social economic justice in regard to it? What is most valuable? Is it the capital, or is it the workers that produce? Okay, and it's once I get into fundamentals with people, you start putting two and two together yourself, and you realize that what I'm saying is nuts and bolts. That's all. I don't get into investment advice or the minutia, the nuances of all the economic BS out in the world, Wall Street and how it functions, interest rates, and invest in this, invest in that. None of that stuff. I just trying to educate people about the fundamentals so you can be empowered and to know up from down and to hold your own against anybody. Say, don't try to BS me. In fact, establish with anybody. Anybody wants to debate you, you just say, well, let's first sit down and we'll establish whose planet is this exactly? And what do you base that on? What's the justification? What's the logic behind your belief system? You understand? You'll find out quickly if they believe in God. And if they claim to believe in God, then they know all the wind's going to go out of any argument they have against you. They can't stand against truth and logic and reason. Okay? Something with a solid basis and a sound justification. It's like minimum wage. Why do I blame the Labor Department? And how I think they're in cahoots, obviously, deliberately, in destroying the worth of our money. Okay, one of the things that happens under true capitalism, which involves supply and demand, it's an integral part of true capitalism. It's the basis. It's how it helps you understand that we, as a purportedly civilized society, as we work together as a unit, a family, a civilization, right, a society, getting more and more civilized, right? Isn't that the whole, we're supposed to progress, evolve, right? Things are supposed to get better and better and easier. That's the whole rhyme and reason behind why we bother innovate. Why else would we do it? We don't want to cut our own throats and say, well, wait a minute, I need this ox and plow, and this is my livelihood, so I don't want anybody coming up with a tractor. We'd be against it. Combine, don't mechanize this thing. You're going to take my job away. Right? We could all be concerned about our jobs. But the whole idea is to make our lives easier and less burdensome. That's the progress. Do you understand? And your money is supposed to go up in worth, not down. Because we find easier and easier methods to produce not only all the things we need, first and foremost, of course. We don't want to worry about all those things. We used to, if you look at history, it used to be a real big deal, but at this point in history, with the industrial age in full bloom, it's absolutely preposterous. It's absurd that we're tolerating austerity being imposed on us. And the only argument that they've got that you could ever deduce is that they need to keep people poor to keep their carbon footprint down, right? That's it. But into that conversation, we're not going to inject anything about solutions. How exactly is the earth overpopulated? What can be done without killing masses of people? Or letting them die, or try to control the population somehow. Making them infertile. Right? Playing God, essentially, is who these people are. And that's exactly the whole story behind Lucifer and Satan. He wasn't a regular angel. You see, this Lucifer was a cherub, one of two very powerful, very beloved, chosen angels. That's the story, okay? You can read about it yourself. And that's who these people are. So they're challenging God's authority. They're evil. That's what we got to understand. They're diabolical. And the typical person that values their conscience, which is a very normal, godly, upright, decent, noble, integrity-filled, conscience-filled thing to do. It's soulful, man. It's valuing it's right values, man. These people will tell you the opposite. That no, they're the way. You got to go to one of their devil worshiping ceremonies and be inducted into the secret societies that JFK was so vociferously opposed to, exposing these monsters. They hate